My name is Jonathan Lorraine. I'm from Burke, Virginia. My question is, what advice can you give us so that we can achieve our goals?
Well, I'm going to be giving you a whole bunch of advice. This won't be an exhaustive list, but I'll just start with a couple of things. Number one is work. It's a pretty simple concept. There's nothing worthwhile where it just falls in your lap. I mean, maybe once in a while somebody wins the lottery. But for the most part, everything you do that's worthwhile requires work. We got, you guys are all too young to remember, but we got Otis Birdsong here. Used to have one of the best jumpers in the NBA. He looks like he could still play. Otis, how many shots when you were playing? How many shots would you take? Just I don't know, thousands of shots, right? I mean, if you talk to Chris or Steph Curry or Ray Allen or any great shooter, they are taking thousands of shots a day, so that when the time comes to make a big shot, it is just muscle memory. It's all burned in. They have talent already, but they've worked. Now, it's interesting. You talk to young people about basketball, and they kind of understand that. They get that when it comes to sports, but for some reason, you think the same doesn't apply to school. There is no reason why you should think that you will be a good reader if you don't read a lot and read books that are hard as opposed to just books that are easy. There's no reason to think that you will be good at mathematics if you are not doing math problems and pushing yourself and trying math problems that are hard, not just ones that are easy. There's no reason. There's no reason why you should think that you'd be well informed about world events if you aren't actually taking the time to read a newspaper once in a while and study what's happening around the world. So nothing you will do, if it's going to be worthwhile, doesn't involve some work. And that includes, by the way, being good parents. Because I've got some friends who've still got young kids, and I had forgotten. I was watching, my brother-in-law's got my nephew's, he's a 2-year-old and a 5-year-old. We call him chairman of the Old Dads Club. He started again. And I'm watching them run around, and it's just exhausting. It's small children are tiring, and being loving and attentive and staying focused on what's good for them and disciplining them when necessary, that's hard work. So work is number one. Number two is figure out what it is that you care about passionately. Something that you think is important to you. Because if nothing's important to you, you're not going to put in the work. Now, everybody's got different talents and everybody's got different passions. And sometimes part of the goal of My Brother's Keeper is to expose you to more things so that you don't think that the only thing you can be passionate about is what you're seeing on TV. And part of the problem with young men of color is oftentimes the only thing they see to be passionate about is basketball or rap. And we want to make sure you get exposed to graphic design, or you're exposed to engineering, or you're exposed to being a lawyer, so that maybe you will be passionate about that. But the point is, those two things go hand in hand. If you find something you really care about, then that's also what you're going to really be willing to put a lot of work into. And that's what you'll end up being good at. So that's goal number two. And goal number three, or third thing, and I got a longer list, but here's the third thing that's pretty important. Understand that you will not achieve by yourself, which means that you've got to be able to invest in relationships with other people who you can learn from, who will support you, who you will support in turn. And if you learn how to be somebody who's a good teammate, who is connected, and is thinking not just about yourself, but about others as well, and they then respond to that by wanting to help you because you've shown yourself to be reliable or trustworthy or having somebody else's back, you then build a network for yourself, and that increases your capacity to get things done. There are a handful of people who can do things on their own, but even geniuses, even folks who are the best of the best at whatever they do. Generally speaking, when you look at it, you find out there's a whole bunch of people behind them that have allowed them to succeed the way they have. And that's part of what My Brother's Keeper needs to be, is just one more tool that you have to expand your network of people who can support you, give you ideas, buck you up when you're down, open doors for you. Of course, the flip side is, though, you can't just take, you also got to give. So you've got to show enthusiasm, you've got to want to be involved, you've got to be curious, you're going to have to ask questions. If you have a mentor, you've got to show up on time. If somebody's putting time into you, you've got to show appreciation for it and do your hardest to achieve. Same thing with teachers. I don't care how bad your school is, there's a teacher in there somewhere who, if you went up to her or him and said, I really want to learn, can you help me? That teacher would snatch you up in a second because they want to feel like they're doing a good job. But if you're just sitting in the back of the class slouching and complaining about how bad the school is, well, then, you may be right to be angry that you don't have enough school supplies or the building's bad or what have you, but it's not going to help you. You're not going to learn. So you've got to be able to give as well as to take. And if you learn those three things: work, have a passion about something, and learn how to give and take with people so that you're part of a broader team, that's a good place to start.